Everyone, I hope that you're doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Boom Shika, and I welcome you to my channel. As always, I'm so grateful that you're listening, subscribing, and commenting. I really appreciate the support. And in this one, I wanted to speak to you about Know Thyself. I've done many videos on this subject, but I always assumed that the person that I was speaking to was already in the throes of knowing themselves. They're already in the middle of it and they already know the basics of it and things like that. And a friend of mine yesterday reminded me that perhaps that's not the case. And I'm sure it is the case for all of you, but I'm going to start off and pretend as if I'm speaking to a person in this video that has no idea how to begin even the process of knowing themselves. That they're newbies at it and they have no idea how to even go about it. And so I'm going to start off with the absolute basics of why does it matter and what you should do in order to know yourself. I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that the main thing that caused me to start living the life that I wanted, to start living my dreams, to even figure out what my dreams are, to start living life on my own terms, to start gaining self-confidence, start gaining self-esteem, to start gaining self-love, start gaining a lot of different amazing things in my life. The main thing that came up over and over again for me was knowing myself. Why does it matter so much, right? You might be like, well, yeah, I mean, what's the big deal? Well, the problem with people in general is that we're constantly being influenced rapidly, quickly, extremely being influenced by all of the people, all of the situations, all of the things around us. So in fact, unfortunately, a lot of us don't even know what we truly want from our lives. A lot of us don't even know what we truly like in our lives. A lot of us don't even know what our dreams actually are all about. Why are we even here? Most of us have no idea. Because what's going on with us is that instead of actually paying attention to our heart or our minds or what actually we want for ourselves, we start paying attention to all of the voices in our heads that are basically the voices of people around us. And so we listen to the critic in our head, we listen to the censor in our head, we listen to those voices in our head, which are basically voices of our parents, voices of society, voices of our partners or friends. And they're constantly telling us to do things a certain way. They're constantly telling us, oh, no, but you don't like that. You like this. Of course you like this. You don't like that. You like this. And we're constantly listening to those voices and confused by it. Very simple example. I'm sure you guys have watched this video. Maybe you haven't. There is this movie called The Runaway Bride. Julia Roberts is in it. And she's one of my favorite actresses. And in it, there's a scene. Maybe if I remember, I'll share it below. There's a scene where Richard Gere, who is the main other character, says to her, you don't even know what kind of eggs you like. And if you're with John, he likes scrambled eggs, so you like scrambled eggs. And if you're with David, he likes them, poached, and so you like poached eggs all of a sudden. And then if you are with, I don't know, Elliot, he likes them eggs Benedict, so you love eggs Benedict all of a sudden. And so he was basically trying to give a very simple example, a very poignant example where he's basically saying to her that, you are like the wind. You're constantly changing according to what's going on around you. You're never actually even sure. And so, he asked her particularly, like, what kind of eggs do you like particularly? Not who does the person around you like, or what does the person around you like, or what does your partner like, or your boyfriend, current boyfriend. But you particularly, do you like scrambled eggs, or do you like poached eggs, or do you like sunny side up, or do you like eggs Benedict? What do you actually like? Not the person around you, but you particularly, right? And obviously you're probably thinking, such a simple thing. Of course everyone knows what kind of eggs they like. Well, really, unfortunately, no. And you'll notice that if you start observing yourself, that in a lot of cases you have no idea what you actually like, right? You might pretend that you do, and it actually happens with the simplest of things. Do you actually like to drink water, or do you like to drink Coke? Well, you always drank Coke with your family, and so you always drank Coke with your friends, so now you always drink Coke, even though it's not really the greatest taste, but you drink it because you've been drinking it for so long. An example from my own life where I noticed the remnants of, my family's teachings was when I was going out to buy toothpaste. and, toothpaste. It's such a simple thing. I was out at the store and, I was like, let me pick a toothpaste that I should buy. And without thinking about it, without even a smidgen of a doubt, without even like actually consciously thinking about it, I picked Colgate. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Why did I pick Colgate? For the first time, I actually asked the question. And I realized it's because my mom always picked Colgate. And why did she pick it? Well, because her parents always picked it. And why did her parents pick it? Well, because that was the only real toothpaste that was available in the store that was in their neighborhood. And they lived in a very poor neighborhood. That was the only one available. That was the cheapest one. And that's how the Colgate market kind of permeated India. And so that's the one that they chose. That's it. Like, there's no real reasoning behind it. And of course, it kind of got shifted down generations to where I'm sitting here right now thinking, why am I picking Colgate? Really, why? And of course, then I was like, all right, what toothpaste do I actually really want, right? I mean, again, a very simple thing, a very silly thing. And you're probably thinking it's not that important, but then that's what happens. It's the small choices that you make, the small everyday choices that you make over your lifetime kind of translate into bigger choices. Because if you can be strong enough and knowing enough, that you know yourself enough to choose the kind of toothpaste that you want, then you can actually choose the right partner that you want. You can actually choose the right career that you want. You can actually choose the right life that you want, right? Because if you can't even choose the small things on your own, if you can't be conscious and cognizant of that, how are you going to choose the big stuff? You're not going to be able to do it. You're not going to be able to push away all of those voices in your head and say, no, this is what I want for my life, because they'll just be too strong. You just won't be able to deal with it. It's unfortunate, but that's the way it is. And I'm not saying this from a place where, I wasn't there and I haven't done that. I'm still in the midst of it. It takes a long time to get over it, if ever. I think it's a constant struggle. Every single day you get up and you decide that you're going to know yourself and do things according to your own self. And then the world tries to push you around and pull you in their direction, and you resist as much as possible. Sometimes you succeed, sometimes you fail, right? And so that's what it is. Every day you wake up and try to do the battle anew again. And so knowing yourself is extremely important because, again, as I said, once you know yourself in the small things and the big things and all the things, all of a sudden you have a blueprint for all the ways you want to live your life, right? So if you know that you're the kind of person who does not want to work in a cubicle, you don't want to work in an office, you want to work outdoors, you don't like working with a boss, you want to be independent, you don't want to work with a team, you want to work on your own, then you have certain lists of things that you can kind of look for when you're looking for a career. If you didn't have that list, if you didn't know yourself and you just kind of went into it unconsciously, you would just pick the first job that lands into your lap and then work it until you retire, right? But if you know that this is what you want, then you can actually like search for it consciously. You can go out and be like, all right, I like something that's outdoorsy. Maybe I can work in a nature park. Maybe I can work on a trail. Like maybe I can be a tour guide. Maybe I can do city tours, things like that, So all of a sudden you have a different list of things that you could do. If you didn't think about it and you were just like, yeah, I guess I'll just work in an office, then you'd have a completely different list of things that you'd look at, right? And that's one of the reasons I think why a lot of people have the midlife crisis, why they have the quarter life crisis, why they have a crisis in general, is because they didn't ask those questions. They did not ask themselves, what do I actually want to do? What do I actually want to do with my life, right? And so then they're in the middle of med school, and I get a lot of questions like that. A lot of people messaging me saying, I'm in the middle of med school and I'm almost done, but I really don't want to be a doctor. I really don't like this path. I don't know why I decided to go into med school. Of course, it's because of my family, but I really don't want to do this. I'm afraid that I'm going to be stuck in a job that I hate. What should I do? And I sit there thinking to myself, oh my God, I mean, haven't you left it a little bit too late? You're almost done with med school. You should have started thinking about this a little bit earlier. But that's okay, we can still deal with this. Of course, now you need to start asking the question, what is more important to you? Do you want to live a life that you hate but satisfy your parents or your family? Or do you want to start living the life that you like and start moving towards it? A lot of people will actually choose the former. It's too difficult to fight against your family. It's too difficult to fight against society. So they'll decide, okay, all right, I'll just stick with med school. I'll just do what they want me to do, even if it's something I don't want to do, right? Unfortunate, but that's the way it is, right? And so it's extremely important, as I said, to start asking the question right away. Start asking yourself right away, what do I want? Who am I? What do I like? What are my needs and desires? What kind of life do I want to lead? What do I want to do with my time here? And then start living according to those tenets, right? Now, of course, there's a lot of tools that will help you to do this. The basic of it is journaling. The basic essence of it is meditation. The basic essence of it is self-reflection. All you can do, if you don't have that much time, all you can do is spend 10 minutes a day or 5 minutes a day sitting and thinking about, okay, what do I want from this life? What do I want to do with this time that I have on this planet? How do I want to spend this time that I have on this planet? If you can just ask that little bit of questioning and do that reflection for even 5-10 minutes a day, I think that in itself would be very useful. If you can, on top of that, start writing this stuff down and start journaling on it, even better. If beyond that, you can even start meditating on it, perfect, right? But the work has to come from within you. No one else can tell you what to do. A lot of people message me asking me, can you tell me what I should do with my life? No, I can't. You're going to have to do that work yourself because no one else can tell you that. Otherwise, what's a big difference between me telling you what you should do versus your parents telling you what to do? Then just follow what your parents are telling you to do. Just do what they want you to do. That's easier than going after some stranger's dreams, right? And no one else can do this work for you. You have to do it yourself. Even if you are, in your 50s or your 60s or your 70s, or if you're in your 20s, 30s, whatever, no matter what age you're at, you can start doing this work right away. Know yourself and then start living your life little by little according to the tenets of your own rule book, not someone else's rule book for you. Okay? So I hope this helps. It was a very basic description of it. I hope it was useful. If you have any questions about this, comment below or message me and I shall do a follow-up video on it. Again, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being on my channel. I really appreciate your support. And I shall see you guys I'll see you people the next time around. Bye for now.